What are the best chest exercises for strength and muscle growth? In this video, I'll be ranking 25 popular chest exercises.
I'll use a similar tier system as Jeff Nippard, but with G for a goated exercise and P for pencil neck exercises keeping you small. Props to Jeff. He's an incredible content creator and I love this idea. But since he's more into bodybuilding and aesthetics and I'm more into strength and performance, I had to make my own video. I'll also award one chest exercise as the goat of goats and demote one exercise to training purgatory for eternal pencil neck. Now, before we start, for an exercise to be G tier, it must meet these 4 criteria in this order. It uses a large amount of muscle, it can be trained through a full range of motion and easily overloaded, has a high degree of tension and stretch, and feels good to perform. If it checks these 4 boxes, you know it's a maximally effective GOAT exercise. If it doesn't use a lot of muscle, get you significantly bigger or stronger, or cannot easily add weight and reps over a long period of time, it goes into the P tier as a loser exercise for pencil necks. Let's start off with 3 of the worst: the plate press, dumbbell hex press, and med ball throws. Trust me, no dude with an insanely developed chest ever built his chest doing these silly exercises. And I don't know about you, but I can think of about 100 better ways to train your chest than literally pinching and pressing plates. That's why we invented barbells, so we could add plates to the barbell.
But Tanner, I really feel my pecs during a plate press.
Yeah, and I really feel my when I off, but that doesn't mean it makes it any bigger.
So you're saying I might as well be home off instead of doing a plate press?
Exactly, bro. If you're in the gym doing a plate press, dumbbell hex press, or a med ball throw, that's basically training master. Squeezing your pecs while pinch pressing a metal circle doesn't grow your chest. Using light dumbbells with a close grip doesn't grow your chest. Getting on your knees like a girl and chest passing a light med ball doesn't grow your chest. All 3 of these exercises are going into the P tier straight away. All right, we got some exercises out of the way. Now let's cover some goats, and the first one is the ultimate bro lift, the barbell bench press. While hypertrophy enthusiasts will say the bench sucks for muscle growth, I would strongly disagree, and here's why. Mechanical tension, also known as just adding weight to the bar, is the #1 way to increase size and strength. And what's going to happen if you take some skinny pencil neck kid's bench from 135 to 225? You think his chest will grow? No question. Which is why the traditional bench is an incredible strength and size builder, because the barbell is the ultimate strength tool where we can gradually and incrementally add weight over a long period of time. Let me say this another way. You can improve your bench press for 10 to 20 years. It is trainable. How long can you train your plate press or dumbbell hex press? What, like 4 to 6 weeks tops? And the next GOAT exercise is the incline barbell bench press. You can argue the incline is even better than the flat bench because the range of motion is greater and it's still very overloadable. But you could also argue the flat bench is better because it's more overloadable than the incline, and you'll always be able to flat bench heavier than you can incline bench. Both are valid arguments, and they are both G tier chest exercises, and which one is better is simply a matter of opinion. But if I have to give a concrete answer, then it's flat bench for strength and incline bench for size. Now, how about the close grip bench press? While I love this exercise and I do them regularly in my own training, this one's easy to rank. A simple rule to remember: a wider grip on the bar is more pecs and a narrower grip is more triceps. So if you want to hit your triceps, close grip bench is a great choice. But for pecs, not so much. C tier. Now, what about the decline bench? Think of the decline bench like quarter rep squats. Yes, you can lift heavier, but are you really getting anything done, or are you just stroking your ego? While there may be a time and place for decline bench, like maybe when you're coming off a pec tear, or you want to overload your triceps to strengthen your lockout, based on the criteria for this video, which is strength and size, you're not going to optimally grow your chest without using a full range of motion. I'm tempted to put it in the B tier, but it's going in C tier due to its limited range of motion. Now, while we know barbells are king for strength, we can't forget about dumbbells, which many lifters prefer due to the freedom of movement and increased range of motion. And I'll be the first to tell you, I'm a barbell guy, but I would be lying to say that one of my all-time favorite chest exercises wasn't the incline dumbbell bench press. I have to put this in the G tier because no other exercise has gotten me more gnarly chest pumps than the dumbbell incline bench. Now, is it optimal for strength and size? I'm not sure, but it is optimal for range of motion, stretch, and feel. How about the dumbbell flat bench? I don't know why, but I just don't love this exercise. Yes, you can lift slightly heavier, but whenever I try super heavy flat dumbbell bench, I naturally and unintentionally shorten the range of motion. And I always feel better pressing dumbbells on an incline as you're just more locked in. It feels more stable and you get a better stretch. Now, you could make the argument that these are A tier or even G tier, but I'm putting flat dumbbell bench in B tier.
All I know is when I'm pressing on a flat bench, it's barbell. And if I'm pressing dumbbells, it's on an incline. I've also seen this trending on social media lately, and that's the one-arm dumbbell bench press. Not my favorite, and this exercise always felt a bit awkward and unstable to me. Almost like more of a core exercise than a chest exercise. I'm putting these in D tier. Quit trying to be fancy and just press 2 dumbbells at a time like a normal gym bro. You'll be able to go heavier and get bigger and stronger. Here's an interesting observation. Does anyone even do decline dumbbell bench press? I don't think I've ever seen anyone even do it. You hardly see this variation done in the gym or on social media, so I completely forgot it and I didn't even film a B-roll for it. So while it's not even on this list, it's a short range of motion and you can't lift as heavy with dumbbells, so that's a double negative. I'd probably put this in the D tier. All right, finish with barbells and dumbbells, but of course we can't forget about push-ups or their variations. Starting with the classic strict push-up, the first and most foundational pushing exercise of all. For noob lifters, if you can't do at least 20 perfect strict push-ups, that would be the first place to start to build your chest. I'm ranking the strict push-up in the C tier. It's a great exercise and foundational for all lifters. However, once you master strict push-ups, just doing more strict push-ups on the ground won't make your chest grow anymore. You have to find a harder variation or change the exercise altogether. Now, what about deficit push-ups or parallel push-ups? These are great variations and a perfect segue once you've mastered basic strict push-ups. The increased range of motion presents a greater challenge that will further improve your relative strength. I'm ranking both of these in the B tier. While you can add weight to push-ups, I think it's more of a hassle than it's worth, and you'd be much better off just transitioning to a more challenging exercise and superior chest building exercise such as the dip. The strict dip is to pushing what the strict pull-up is to pulling, and I consider the dip easily one of the best chest building exercises ever. I would absolutely rank the bodyweight dip in G tier, but I'm keeping in the A tier only because I have to put the weighted dip in the G tier. Anytime you can take a foundational human movement pattern and strengthen it with additional resistance greater than your body weight, it's goated. The dip is incredible for both chest and triceps, which is why advanced calisthenics athletes have insane upper body development. And if you're a serious lifter, make sure both dips and weighted dips are staples in your routine. What about ring dips? I've done a shitload of ring dips, and I personally think they're overrated for chest development. Yes, they absolutely require a tremendous amount of relative strength and are more challenging than bar dips, but that doesn't make them better per se. For strength and muscle building purposes, I'm ranking ring dips in the B tier due to their inherent instability, which compromises your force production. You will never be able to perform a weighted ring dip with as much weight as a fixed bar dip. Think of it this way. Are you going to bench press more weight with an earthquake bar and kettlebells and bands for weight, or a straight bar and conventional weights? The straight bar and weights, obviously. The same rationale applies to ring dips. And I'm not saying they're bad exercise, but a strict weighted bar dip is a superior choice as you'll be able to overload it more safely and effectively and ultimately build more strength and size. Now, while on the topic of rings and gymnastics, what about muscle ups? While a muscle up is arguably the greatest overall upper body exercise because it trains virtually every muscle in your upper body, all muscle ups in general are suboptimal chest building exercises. Why? Think about it. The muscle up is just a strict pull up and dip. It's combining 2 exercises into one, and anytime you combine 2 exercises into one, it's rarely, if ever, as effective as just breaking down the exercise into its constituent exercises and training them individually. Again, think of it like this. You will always be able to perform a heavier weighted pull up and weighted dip than you will a weighted muscle up. So if the goal is to build your chest, which is the topic of this video, don't pretend kipping strict or even weighted strict muscle ups are better than just basic weighted dips. They're not. And now I know I opened this video with a weighted strict muscle up, but that's only because it looks cool and I needed to hook you guys in the first 10 seconds so you'd watch this video. Both kipping ring and bar muscle ups are honestly just a dumb, arbitrary CrossFit exercises, and they're going in the D tier. Strict ring or bar muscle ups are better, but I still have to put them in the C tier. And seriously, if you want to unlock your muscle up, do more strict pull-ups and dips to build the requisite strength first. All right, now let's talk machines. Some machines are great, some not so great. Let's cover the worst first and the best last. Starting with the single arm cable fly. I want to put this in the P tier, but I'll keep it in the D tier. And if you watch my back video, you know I'm not a big fan of single arm exercises for chest or back. Doing a single arm fly, you're basically isolating a single pectoral muscle and you'll never be able to lift very heavy weight just doing this. Now, I'm not a bodybuilder, but do you really think that's the best use of your training time? It's not. A better alternative, but still not my favorite, is the cable crossover fly. At least this way, you're training the entire chest. But this exercise looks and feels cooler than it actually is. D tier. Remember, heavy presses and dips build a chest. Cables and flies only refine a chest, if even that. A better alternative and the best variation of all chest flies, in my opinion, is the pec deck machine. At least with this machine, you get a solid stretch and maintain a constant tension and resistance throughout the entirety of the rep. I'd put the pec deck in the C tier and is a solid exercise to finish off your chest day. Now we've got just 3 exercises left. I'd be remiss if I didn't cover the dumbbell fly, another popular chest exercise that's extremely overrated. I want to put these in the D tier, but the more I think about it, I can't, and they got to go in the P tier. Here's why. Flies in general are not the best movement pattern to build a big and strong chest, and when performing dumbbell flies, your pecs are only under tension half the time due to the natural resistance curve of dumbbells, so essentially half your reps are. And we'll finish off with 2 very solid chest building exercises, which are the machine chest press and the Smith machine incline press. I love both of these exercises, and they are ideal for chest hypertrophy. Constant tension, smooth resistance curve, and you really feel your pecs working on both of these exercises. They are easily overloadable and can be trained over a long period of time as well. I'm like 50-50 on putting these in G tier or A tier, and I'm only putting them in A tier because I'm a barbell and free weight guy at heart, and I personally don't do these exercises often enough in my own training to make them G tier. You must also remember, I train for strength and performance, not hypertrophy and aesthetics. So this is just a matter of opinion. If your goal is bodybuilding or hypertrophy, you should put both the machine chest press and Smith machine bench press in the G tier because they are incredible exercises, and I plan to include both of them into my training more in the future. So out of all the goated exercises, if I had to choose just one to crown goat of goats, I just can't. I have to say it's a tie between the barbell incline bench press and the weighted dip. These are both goated exercises, and it's really just a personal preference and depends on what mood I'm in that day. It's too hard to choose, and since this is my video, I say do both because they both build an incredibly big and strong chest and are obligatory exercises for all real lifters. And if I have to choose just one chest exercise to relegate to training purgatory for eternal pencil neck, it's got to be the plate press. This is just a stupid and extremely overrated exercise. I also dislike the dumbbell hex press and dumbbell flies, but the plate press is worse. So if you do these, please stop and just do more presses and dips instead. Or if you just love squeezing your pecs together, hit the pec deck. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to get bigger and stronger yourself, definitely try out my Straight Up Strength program for free. It includes a free meal plan and a state-of-the-art training app. And if you like it, you can get the first month for less than $3 with this promo code. I'll put the link here next to my head. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see me rank the best and worst back exercises, watch this video here.